Hello students, in this section we're gonna talk about dynamic calibration. In front of you, this is the laboratory apparatus that we have in dynamic laboratory. This apparatus is used for dynamic calibration of accelerometer sensors. The main equipment of this apparatus is shaker. This one. Shaker will be controlled by signal generator and also power amplifier. You will configure your signal in signal generator, and then the signal will be amplified by power amplifier. Then it will flow through the wire and makes the shaker vibrating. Vibration from the shaker will be measured by accelerometer. The small one over here is your reference sensor. Meanwhile, the big one on your left side, it will be your calibrated sensor, the accelerometer that you want to calibrate. After the measurement complete, it will amplified by accelerometer power amplifier or power supply. After that, it will recorded by national instrument, which is the data acquisition that I use in this practicum. Then the data will be displayed in laptop. As you can see in this laptop, I use LabVIEW programming to record our data. In LabVIEW program, you will see two graphs, the upper graph and then the bottom graph. The upper graph is the frequency domain of your reference sensor, as I already write here. The graph shows your reference sensor. Meanwhile, the bottom graph is your calibrated sensor. If, for example, I give 40 Hertz, for example, I give 40 Hertz, then the LabVIEW program will also show the vibration in 40 Hertz. And on your on your right side, you see the frequency and also the amplitude peak of your reference sensor and also your calibrated sensor. In dynamic calibration, you will have two testing. The first one is linearity test, which is we will conduct the measurement by varying the vibration amplitude, but always get the data at constant frequency. Meanwhile, the second testing is called as FRF test. We will conduct the test by varying the frequency, but always get the data at constant amplitude. Back to the first testing, which is linearity test. In linearity test, you will varying the amplitude, the vibration amplitude start from 0.5 up until 5G. All this data is recorded at the constant frequency. For this practicum, I will record at constant 80 Hertz. Meanwhile, for FRF test, the frequency will be various. Start from 10 up until 1000. The vibration amplitude should be constant. And for this practicum, I'll always take at 1G constant. For our first testing, we will do linearity test. For our first data, we will try to get the data at 0.5G. First, you will configure your signal as signal generator. Your frequency should be 80 Hertz, and then the amplitude will be around 50 millivolt. After you finish configure, you will feel if your shaker is already vibrating or not. And then we move to our LabVIEW program and start acquiring data. After finish acquiring data, you can see that the graph is already show a vibration with 80 Hz frequency. and on your right side you can read the data 80 Hz and also 49.69 millivolt for our reference sensor. Meanwhile for our calibrated sensor it will be 80 Hz and also 50.21 millivolt. For our second data, we will also configure in signal generator and we change the amplitude will be around 100 millivolt, which is 1G. Okay, make sure your shaker is already vibrating and move to our LabVIEW program. Start data acquiring. Yeah, and then you make sure that the amplitude peak is already changed to 100 millivolt. As you can see right here, it shows 80 Hz and 99.99 millivolt for our reference sensor. Meanwhile, for the calibrated sensor, it will be 80 Hz and 101.03 millivolt. Okay, then we continue to get all our data start from 0.5G up until 5G. So this is the data from our LabVIEW program, millivolt peak from our reference sensor. And because we already know the sensitivity of our reference sensor, then we can calculate for our G peak amplitude for our reference sensor. We can simply divide it, our millivolt data divided by reference sensor, so that's why we can get G peak as I write in this column. Meanwhile, in this column, as you can see, this is the millivolt peak that we get from our LabVIEW program for our calibrated sensor. Because we know the millivolt peak from calibrated sensor and also the G peak from our reference sensor, then we can plot a graph millivolt from calibrated sensor versus G peak from our reference sensor. Then the blue dot over here represents our data. After that, we can do linear regression to get linear equation that I write it over here. And as you already did in first practicum, you know that if you have linear equation like this, and this constant 102.64 is your sensitivity. So that's why I clearly write over here 102.64 is our sensitivity of our calibrated sensor. Our second testing is FRF test. As I already mentioned before, we will conduct the testing by varying the frequency, but always get the data at constant amplitude. In this occasion, I use 1G or 100 millivolt vibration amplitude. Meanwhile, the frequency, I take the data start from 10 Hz up until 1000 Hz. And same as before, because we already know the sensitivity of our reference sensor, we can simply calculate for our G peak reference sensor. We can simply divide it millivolt peak by sensitivity to get our G peak over here. And move to calibrated sensor. Millivolt peak is the data that we get from LabVIEW program. And because we already know, because we already did linearity test, we also know our sensitivity of calibrated sensor. So that's why we can calculate our G peak So that's why we can calculate G peak from calibrated sensor. We can simply divide it millivolt peak by sensitivity value. And move to FRF. As you already learned in system dynamics class, FRF means output per input. So we can simply divide it G peak calibrated sensor by G peak reference sensor to get FRF value that I write over here in this column. And also we can calculate error. As a result, after we complete with all the data and all calculation, we can draw FRF graph, which I show you here. On your left axis is frequency response, meanwhile on your right axis is error. The blue dot over here is our FRF data, meanwhile the red dashed line over here is our threshold. I take 5% threshold. And as you can see over here, our FRF data, all our FRF data is within the threshold, which means our sensor will have the same value or the same sensitivity value if we use the sensor to measure vibration start from 10 Hz up until 1000 Hz. In cross-sensitivity measurement, all the equipment that we use are the same with linearity or FRF testing. Meanwhile, the measurement procedure, it will be the same as linearity testing. We will get all calibration data by varying the vibration amplitude, but always get the data at constant frequency. In cross-sensitivity measurement, the calibrated sensor will be installed horizontally. Therefore, the measurement direction of calibrated sensor will be perpendicular to the vibration direction from shaker. The sensor will measure horizontally, meanwhile the vibration will occur vertically. After the setup is ready, then we can start the calibration process with the same procedure as linearity testing. This is the experiment result of cross-sensitivity measurement. Same as linearity testing, I took the data start from 0.5G up until 5G. And all the data are recorded at constant frequency, 80 Hz. From LabVIEW program, we can get the millivolt peak of reference sensor and also the millivolt peak of calibrated sensor. Next step, we can calculate the G peak of reference sensor because we have already know the sensitivity value of reference sensor. We divided the millivolt peak by sensitivity value to get the G peak that are right in this column. As a result, we can plot a graph with G reference as our x-axis and the millivolt peak from calibrated sensor as our y-axis. The blue dot over here is our data. We can perform linear regression on our data and we get the linear equation that are right over here. As you have already did in the first practicum, you know that the gradient of linear equation, it will be your sensitivity value. And because this is the cross-sensitivity measurement, the sensitivity value or the gradient of linear equation over here is your cross-sensitivity value. In here, I write the cross-sensitivity that we have already get from linearity testing and also the cross-sensitivity that we have just calculated. Furthermore, we can compare both of cross-sensitivity and also sensitivity. Cross-sensitivity divided by sensitivity, and then we get this percentage. In general, a good sensor will have cross-sensitivity value smaller than 5%. So our calibrated sensor can be defined as a good sensor.